Okay. I'm gonna shake that one off because that was like a lot that came through and I didn't even know that I was gonna channel that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I just did a part 1 to this video, which is just pure live channeling about kind of what I've been deducing from this journey, things that have been coming through me. I address the divine masculine sort of at the beginning of the video, and towards the end I address some newer energies coming up for the divine feminine. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. But right now we're gonna go to a card reading, and what I think I'm gonna start with is we just had this really powerful new moon in Cancer, and it feels like there was a lot of heart openings, a lot of emotion, and a lot of shifts, and I just want to see how that's kind of affecting the collective and our spiritual journeys at this time. I just realized I got a new deck that I want to use, but I don't have the box here. I put the box away, so I can't tell you what it's called. Sorry, I'm not great at that, telling you guys about my decks. All right, so Spirit, tell us about the divine feminines after this new moon. Ooh, I am gonna leave it upside down. I'm gonna leave it in reverse. We're getting the Tower in reverse. In this deck, it's called Disruption. I was gonna say Destruction. So whenever the Tower shows up in reverse, it's an internal tower. It's an internal reconfiguration. It's a things are shifting in our internal world, our beliefs, our ideas, our stories, perhaps the way that we've been identifying, the way that we've been telling ourselves our story. There's an opportunity to release stories here, to release pain that's like disguised as a story or a belief that's rooted from an experience, rooted from a time where there was pain, or there was gosh, words are just escaping me right now. It's so funny. When you have an experience like in your childhood that's really painful, and then you create a story around that experience and you move forward in life with that, and really at the root of that story is just some pain that needs to be released, that needs to be seen. It's that inner child work. It's that shadow work of really half the time all that's needed is for us to just shine the light on it, hold space for it, give it attention, and then it can transmute. That's what's been coming up for you, divine feminines. That's the work that you've been doing, and that's what this new moon has brought about. So yeah, a lot of emotion. There could have been a lot circulating, a lot cycling out, a lot of completions. What we're also getting with this is the Ace of Cups, love begins. So this is that unconditional love. This is that, and what I'm hearing, divine feminines, is this is really this understanding of absolute unconditional love for yourself. This understanding that this cup is always full and it's always, always there for you. And you can choose to give it to somebody. You can choose. My little dog. You can choose to share it with someone else, or you can choose to hold it for yourself. And that is always your choice. And when you free yourself from a lot of these sort of beliefs and stories, it allows you to really see how much love and potential there always is available for you. Bottom of the deck, we have the crown chakra. So this is all about knowing. This is all about I know, and it's what you truly know, what the divine truth is, what the truth of a situation is. So I do feel like with this Tower that there's been so much that you've been letting go of, that have been beliefs and perhaps stories that have been disempowering for yourself, that have kept you from this cup of love, that have kept you from the truth of this unconditional love that was always there. And perhaps it could be around these connections, these divine connections, where you had a story, you know, that this person really doesn't care and it's never going to happen, and you know, you're in this space, right, But with a lot of this, it feels like there's been some divine understanding and divine knowing where spirit has been showing you the truth, which has allowed you to rest, which has allowed you to sit back in peace and to know that sometimes it's not about you, and to really be able to transcend whatever's happening in the 3D, to not take it personally. And with these connections, the divine feminines have been on that lesson of, I can't take this personally because I know this isn't about me. And when you're able to do that, divine feminines, look what shows up for you. Love begins. Your love. Your cup of love that's always, always there. Okay, let's get some tarot on this, and I want to know a little more about this. That was tarot too, but it's a specific deck that kind of, again, what is that deck called? The Psychic Tarot. Okay, that one was the Psychic Tarot. This one is the new one, and I can't tell you what it's called. It's based on like folklore. Okay, so what does the divine most want the divine feminines to know at this time? Okay. Let's see if there's anything else you want us to know. Wow. Oh my God, divine feminine, this energy is beautiful. Divine feminines, you are doing your work. Keep going. Good job. Good on you. Oh my God. Okay. Empress on the bottom of the deck. Wait till you see. Wait till you see. We have the Two of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Divine feminine. So what does the divine want you to know? This is your union. This is your union of self. This is your union. This is your cup of love. We're getting the Ace of Cups. Love begins. The divine is making this happen, divine feminines. So, and I was about to say let go of your worry or fear, but you're sitting in this Empress energy. You are sitting in this Empress energy. You are not in fear. And it's like, as you continue to stand in this goddess energy, you know, this is, Guadalupe, I believe. I don't have the book near me. I'm not gonna pay attention to the book right now. But this is this like beautiful, unconditionally loving mother energy of just. It's the type of energy that doesn't ask you to worship it, but because of its energy and because of its purity, that is the response that it attracts. Is this like reverence and this worship to this energy. And it's all energy that I'm speaking about. I'm not saying you should worship people or, you know, whatever. But when you have this energy, it's like they're showing me this image of like you're walking through like the darkness. You're walking through perhaps crowds of people and chaos and pain and just destruction. But it's like the path just parts for you. And all of these people's fear and pain melts in your presence. It just melts because you're carrying this code. You're carrying this template of divine love, of forgiveness, of healing, motherly love, truth. And the divine works really hard for that energy because that is a divine template. That is what the divine feminines, you have been here on this journey working to get to this space for a while. And then look what comes out of it, this Two of Cups. Two of Cups is one of my favorite energies in the deck that's not a major arcana because it's such powerful energy. It's union, it's unifying of two forces, two energies coming together to be stronger as one. It's your union with the divine, it's your union with self, it's your union with your counterpart. And then we're getting it here with the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords is like that aha, it's the epiphany. It's the knowing, it's the depth of truth of like, this is it. I don't need to be in fear around this. This is the truth. And this aha is usually followed by an action. It's followed by movement. So what I'm feeling here for the divine feminine is it's like the work that you've been doing and stepping deeper and deeper into your Empress, it's allowing you to really know the truth and to see the truth, the divine truth in this situation, in this Two of Cups. And you know that the divine has you. You know that you are held, and you know that this is coming, and you are, that's all you need to know. You've surrendered, you've sat back in however it shows up in whatever way. That's not really important at this point, because of the union within, because of this deeper awareness within, and being in this flow, because it's a cup, so it's emotion, so there's like a flow here as well. I love this because they're in the tantric kiss, these two. All of these cards are based on stories from folklore, so I'm not familiar with this one. But yeah, they're in the, when your forehead, when your third eyes are pressed together and that resting, it's like they're entwined, right? And then their hand, it's just really beautiful. So divine feminines, that is your truth. That is your divine. That is what's happening right now. That is what the divine is ushering in for you. And there's nothing you need to do. There's absolutely nothing you need to do. You just need to sit still. Okay, divine masculines, please, from this new moon. That's interesting. We're mirroring a bit. Wow, we're definitely mirroring. Okay, we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck for the divine masculines, fertility. So what is coming in for the new moon? And I'm feeling that this is you, divine feminine. I'm not necessarily feeling that this is feminine energy. I'm feeling that this is the divine feminine is being revealed, Ace of Swords, to the divine masculine from this new moon. This is triumphant success. So this is that aha moment for divine masculines where they're recognizing the truth of this person, the truth of this, the beauty, the reverence, all that reverence that I was speaking about when I was talking about the divine feminines and the Empress, that parting of the ways, how this energy demands respect. I don't want to say demands, actually. That's a little too, like, it just attracts respect. It attracts reverence. It attracts worship. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I'm going to share it. So they just gave me an image of like a divine feminine beautifully in her power and her divinity, and the divine masculine at her feet, like kissing her feet. And not in a, it's not in a disempowering way. It's not in like a hierarchical 3D power, I'm better than you. It's in like a beautiful reverence way. And I'm not super familiar with Bible stories, but I do know there's like this symbolism within the Bible around washing somebody's feet, or like really kind of putting attention on someone's feet. And that's kind of what they're showing to me, is it's like this this awareness that this Cancer, which is the mother of the zodiac, it's very deep feminine energy. It's very like Empress energy, that there's this like awareness that their firm foundation is with the divine feminine, that the beauty that's available and possible for them in their lives is with the divine feminine. And there's been this misdirection of energy. There's been this desire for the freedom. There's been this desire, this protection, but what they've been protecting, they realize, has been a false idol. It hasn't been true, because of the self-sabotage that I spoke about in part 1 with the divine masculines, not really connecting to their intuition, but believing they are, when actually what they're connecting to is self-sabotage, which lives in the mind. So there's been this misdirection of energy where they've been going forward towards a thing, you know, whatever it is. Maybe it's the karmic situation, maybe it's work, money, material gain, freedom. Really, there's some of these masculines just had like such 3D low level ideas of freedom and relationship, where they had never seen what true divine relationship looked like, where your freedom is a pillar of that connection. And so for them it was like, well, I don't have to answer to anyone, and I don't want the, like, very low level energy in that. But that was something that they thought they were protecting from their intuition. And what I'm seeing here in this energy with this Ace of Swords, it's mirroring, we got the Empress mirroring both the divine feminine and the divine masculine and the Ace of Swords, is there's a deep awareness. Like, the truth has been revealed. It may not have been revealed in the 3D to one another. I do not feel with this energy that the masculine is talking or speaking his truth yet, or his or her truth, and telling their divine feminine. I'm not seeing that yet, but I am seeing this deep awareness. There is spiritual strength here. So this is the Nine of Wands. So I'm going to get a clarifier on that, actually. I want to know what the divine masculines are needing their spiritual strength for. This is really beautiful energy, honestly. That shuffle was really wobbly, like, and when that happens, that's usually my guides telling me there's like massive changes. There's like really... Okay. Spiritual strength. Clarify spiritual strength. Okay. Oh, wow. So on the floor, we have Three of Swords. So this is heartbreak. This is pain. This is I didn't recognize you. I didn't see. It's like a reckoning of not seeing the truth, not seeing the light, not seeing the divinity, and how painful this reckoning is. And I've felt that. I've gotten that message a lot recently. The divine is giving a lot of attention to the divine masculines at this time, and it's like a reckoning. It's like tower moment of pain. It's them feeling the pain of disconnection, the pain of missing the truth, or missing what was being shown and not seeing it, not having this Ace of Swords, being in the Two of Swords, being in mental conflict, mental anguish, not really seeing the truth. We're also getting the Seven of Cups, and it came out in the reverse. So I feel that this spiritual strength is them having to really set down all of the illusion and all of the disillusionment, and to really come into their center and their awareness and their truth, to trust in this Ace of Swords, to trust in the divine. And they're needing, it's like the weary, wounded soldier, the wounded warrior, where they've battled, it's been a long journey of pain and destruction, and it's almost more painful to go through something and to pretend it's not painful, to pretend it's okay. And so it feels like this is that moment of like, holy cow, this has been really, really painful this whole time. I've been denying my feelings. I've been denying my feminine. I've been denying the truth. Like, it's just a reckoning. It's a reckoning. That's the word they keep giving me. So this spiritual strength is going to move mountains because the divine is here. And guess what's going to move mountains? Guess where the strength comes from? The heart. The strength comes from feelings. I feel that the divine masculines are starting to see that truth, that the absolute spiritual strength comes from your connection to the divine. Wands, Nine of Wands, comes from your connection to the divine, comes from the cups, comes from the feeling. That is true vulnerability. That is true strength. And so it's going to take a lot of strength for them to be able to be witnessed in a Three of Swords energy, to be witnessed in their pain. And they're working towards that. We also have the Three of Wands, and this is speaking to partnerships and alliances for the divine masculines at this time. Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. The Four of Wands almost came out and didn't. When I clarified the Three of Wands, I got the King and Queen of Pentacles. Those are divine counterparts. Those are divine counterparts of the 3D. Those are divine counterparts who have... It's so loving. It's so tender. They're masters of their domain. There is abundance here. There is manifestation here. There is depth of love here. So what did this new moon bring? Clarity of this connection and this union. whatever you want to call it, the label doesn't matter. The reason we use the things like twin flame when we're teaching and sharing and being in service around it is because we want you to know what we're talking about. This is not a soulmate connection. This is not your average connection. This is a very different connection. If you look at these connections in the way that relationship coaches and whatever look at it, you're going to think, oh, this person's a narcissist. They're horrible for me. I need to run and never talk to them again, right? So we have to have a certain label to frame these connections and the unique qualities of these connections in order to gain what we're meant to gain from them. So it doesn't matter what you're calling these divine masculines. It really doesn't matter. But you're seeing that this is your divine counterpart, that this is the union right here. I mean, it's very rare when they come out from the same suit too. But Three of Wands, partnership and alliance. So that came up. Wow. Okay. What does the divine most need the masculines to know at this time? Yeah. Okay. We're getting Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck. And what I'm hearing with this is it doesn't matter if you're an expert or not. All you have to do is just begin. You start walking, we will lead you. Just start moving. Just start taking action. And that's not a typical read of this card, but what I am getting is this is like that heart energy of apology, of accountability, of taking responsibility, but not quite being in your mastery of your emotions, not quite being an expert. This is not a knight, this is not a king, this is not a queen, this is the page. So you're an amateur, you're a novice, but Spirit needs you to be in that humble energy. Spirit is telling you it's time to get into your vulnerability, masculines. Okay, you take a couple steps, we will guide you, we will help move you forward. And this is in moving away. Okay, 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups. So look at all these cups and all this water. So the divine is showing the masculines at this time the truth about these 7 of Cups, that this is disillusionment. This isn't real. This was never real. So that's coming and that's hitting home. That's getting, like, we have the 7 and the 8 right here. So it's like this has been exposed, and we did get the 7 of Cups in reverse to clarify kind of the new moon and Cancer energy. So this has been exposed, and now what's the divine is working with the masculines on is this 8 of Cups, to walk away from these 7 of Cups, to walk away from this false idol. I don't know why that's been channeled so much. False idol. Because the masculines have been running from, it's all been self-protective, and it's all been in disillusionment. Nothing that they have thought that they were hiding or running from has actually been real. It's all been made up. It's all been made up. It's all been false. But they've been very, their past and the influence, their communities, the people they've been around. This is the 3D twin, right? So the 3D twin is very influenced by the devil energy, by the darkness, by that stuff, by the stuff that's clouding their system. And so this is the 7 of Cups, right? It's these things thinking, I need to follow this, I need to go get this, I need to have this, I need to, ooh, what about that? That's shiny. And here the divine is saying, walk away from that divine masculine. That is not your path. That was never your path. This is your path. Your path is walking towards the moon. That's the divine feminine. The mystery, the intuition, the spiritual journey. Walking towards the moon. That's so funny. I thought I had another card. Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask another, what deck do I want to grab? I think I'll just keep using this deck. Okay, I want to know what the, what the divine, what action the divine is encouraging the masculines to take at this time, and then we'll go to the feminines. Okay, what actions? Wow. Okay. Okay. So we have 6 of Wands, 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords. So the Eight of Swords here is kind of this avoidance. It's this hiding. It's this feeling trapped. It's like, it's wearing the mask, okay? Quite literally. She's like wearing an animal mask. So the divine is saying to the masculines, overcome this Five of Swords energy, which is the energy of you against the world, and then you may win the battle, but you lose the war because you're sitting there alone. So it's this need to be right, is this need to defend. It's almost a person that's so used to battle and conflict and struggle in relationship that they manifest that and recreate that, but then point the finger at everyone else and say, oh, that was you were doing that. And on this journey, the divine masculines do that a lot. They project onto the feminine, and they think that they say that the feminine's doing this when really it's them doing it. Them creating self-fulfilling prophecies and self-sabotage, right? So the divine is saying the action that you need to take at this time, masculines, is drop the mask, drop the fear, drop the avoidance, stop pretending that you're just kind of, oh God, that's rough. What I'm hearing is a loser. Stop pretending that you're a loser. You haven't lost, masculine. That's interesting, because then we're getting the Six of Wands. So this is a winner. The Six of Wands is success. It's public recognition and success. So the divine is saying, masculines, you have not lost. You have won. We need you to stop the act and the charade and the pretending that you have lost all. You have not lost. It's not lost. But you're going to have to reveal the mask. You're going to have to put the guard down. Let's get a card. Let's get a clarifier on the Five of Swords, please. Yeah, that's the action. What about the Eight of Swords? Okay, that's a lot of cards. Yeah, it's all action. Divine masculines, you're being asked to step into action. You're being asked to step into action, my loves. Okay, Five of Swords, the Chariot, clarified by the Chariot. Major Arcana, move forward to your victory, to your Six of Wands. And where are you being asked to move forward? Oh, you're being asked to share, to be vulnerable, to approach your divine feminine that you have just discovered the truth about, okay? Or perhaps you've known the truth for a while and you've just been hiding, which is actually more the case. You've been resisting. So drop this resistance, drop this desire to keep yourself safe and sheltered, and the machismo, the facade, right? The fear of being seen, you know, the fear of, again, I go back to that Page of Cups energy. You got to humble yourself, masculines. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to say, yeah, like I got it wrong. And now the action that's coming out of this is the Chariot. This has been a long journey, and the divine is showing the masculines at this time how their actions have affected others. Like this, every single choice that they've made that's been a selfish choice, but they've thought was self-preservation, or, you know, they thought they were doing the right thing. I feel like the divine is revealing to them how much that's impacted and hurt others, not just their divine feminine, but particularly their divine feminine. And so the action here, the Chariot, move forward. The action here from the Eight of Swords, Ace of Wands, move forward. This is the divine spark. Again, this is the divine saying to the masculines, your turn. It's your turn to take action. For most of these divine masculines and the divine feminines I talk to here, I know that you divine feminines have been taking the action. You've been doing the work. You've been listening to spirit. You've been making moves, setting things on fire, trusting your intuition above all else. You've made yourself vulnerable. You've put yourself out there. It's your turn, masculines. It's your turn. The divine is like, kid gloves are off, my friends. Kid gloves are off. Okay. I want to just grab a little bit more energy for the divine feminines, but I feel like I've grabbed a lot of energy from that deck. So let's go to this deck and let's ask what actions the divine would like the divine feminine to be taking. What actions the divine is encouraging the divine feminines to be taking at this time. This was a very wild and woolly reading. What I mean by that is I feel like I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan at all. I just kind of went with it. But I hope we're channeling the messages that are most needed. And I have to, yeah, we are. I trust it. Trust the divine. Okay. Whoa. You know, I'm going to put those back because that was a lot and I had barely gotten a shuffle. I did just see the King of Cups and the Eight of Swords though, which is interesting. We're getting a lot of interesting energy. Huh. Wow. Fascinating. Okay. We're getting the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. It almost feels like Divine Masculine energy here, but I was asking specifically about the Divine Feminine. Okay. Divine Feminine, what do you do at this time? You sit. You still yourself. You go into your deepest truth. You go into the center of your being and you hold that space and you hold that faith. If you have anger that you need to work through, you work through it, not because you're doing it for another person, but because you love yourself that deeply, because you trust in the divine that deeply. Divine Feminines, I feel like the reason no energy came out that is for you is because you're doing that work and there's very little the divine needs you to do. I feel like this was a test. The divine just tested me in this. And so what I'm actually getting is Divine Masculine energy. But we are getting the Ace of Cups again. And so if there was a message here for the Divine Feminine, it would be trust in the unconditional love that you have within yourself. Trust that this cup of love is yours and it was always yours and it was never taken away. And know that your person is figuring this out right now and they're figuring out how to meet you in that cup of love, how to come in a way that is exceptional. Okay, and we're getting the Page of Cups again. So there's this amateur energy. There's this, the pages are a little immature, and so there's this fear. But the divine's like, I don't care, masculines. You get to be a little bit afraid because this is you becoming the emperor. And stop pretending. Oh, my nose is getting itchy. They're playing with my nose. Stop pretending that you've lost. Stop pretending you're not an emperor. Stop pretending that divine masculines. This is the energy. It's almost like, oh my God. Okay. It's almost like putting yourself in this energy of novice, amateur, vulnerable is what will make you the masculine, the divine masculine. It's what will make you the emperor. It's what will put you at this level next to your feminine, because vulnerability is not something you've been willing to explore. It's not been something you've been willing to own and to be. And your feminine has, and that's why you guys are at this place right now. That's why you're at this point in the journey, because she's transcended. She or he has transcended this shit. You got to transcend this shit, masculine, and you do that by humbling yourself. You do that by coming into your heart and saying, yeah, it's scary, but I'm doing it anyways. You want to be strong like your feminine. You want to feel equal. You want to feel like you can meet her and match her. This is what you do. And the divine it's not like you haven't been getting these messages. The divine has been showing you. I also got the Ace of Swords again. So it's kind of insane. We just keep getting the Ace of Swords. So trust in this truth. Trust in these downloads, this aha moment. And then these cards all fell out at once. So the message I'm really getting here, we're getting the World, Major Arcana. We're getting the Hermit, Major Arcana. And we're getting the Page of Swords. And this is where I was instantly like, this is not the Divine Feminine's energy, because in this card, in this deck, this is spying. This is spying energy, always. So Divine Masculines, stop watching your feminine. Stop feeling it out. Stop spying if you're spying. These birds, these crows, this is that like watcher energy. It's like, it's because there's a fear, there's a hesitation, and there's a fear of being in this vulnerable heart space. So it feels like these divine masculines are getting the call, they're getting the wisdom, they're getting the download to move forward. But instead of taking action, they're in this energy and they're in this hermit energy. And the hermit's a beautiful energy. The hermit is where we make all of our self-discoveries on the spiritual path. There's nothing wrong with the hermit. But the divine masculines have been hiding out in this hermit energy. They've been in poor me. They've been feeling sorry for themselves. And they've it's like the divine is like, you've already accomplished what we needed you to accomplish in this place, and now it's like, put it into practice, take action, go see how it actually shows up in your life, go see if you've actually integrated these lessons. So the world's here, completing these cycles, completing this hermit hiding energy, completing this spying, watching. This could also be an energy of trying to feel out through the 5D the energy of the feminine, because there's this fear of the feminine rejecting the masculine. There's this fear of the feminine saying you waited too long, or there's fears there, and that's like really scary for the masculine. So they've been using sort of tactics, like Page of Swords, very mind energy. It's very like in their head energy instead of being in their heart, to try and get a feel. Maybe if you guys are from similar communities and you have friends, like asking about the feminine, like trying to get a feel, like, is she dating someone? Like, what's, just that sort of energy. So it may not be directly Instagram stalking or whatnot, but it could be. I'm getting a strong message that it could definitely be that. And it's this watching, it's this sitting on the fence. It's not playing the game, it's sitting on the fence. And the divine is saying that cycle is being completed. We need to cut that shit out, masculines. Humble yourself, okay? So divine feminines, I'm sorry I didn't have a last message for you, but I hope that what I channeled for you in that, like, really sitting in your power energy was enough. Okay, I'm gonna leave you there today because this got longer than I anticipated and I have to run off and do some things, but thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love. If you like this video, if you comment, if you share, that helps this video get seen by more people, and then we can help more people. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.